My friends used to take the piss out of me a little bit and say like, you're so ADHD, and it took me about 6 months to, I was like, oh, I'll go and have a test. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Why don't you go to Freo, mate?
West Coast actually started following me like a couple minutes before my pick. You don't even need to play, just come stand on the field. That's what made me keep coming back, like the physicality and the aggression, extra training, extra running. You were only paid for the 6 months. We were in season, which makes it really difficult. Go to mark and everyone's like this, like their arms are so sore. See how my body holds up. My fingernail kept falling off, so went and saw a doctor. I would cook myself into the ground.
Your parents must have absolutely hated you.
Can't eat this, have to eat that. I had to eat more than I was comfortable eating. As the game kind of went on, started to feel a bit strange.
Yeah, but this feels bloody good.
I think it's a bit of choose your own adventure type thing. Oh, good grief.
Jaide, thank you very much for being here today.
No worries, thanks for having me.
AFLW, West Coast Eagles. How long have you been playing for now?
4th season this year. Yeah.
For the Eagles?
Yeah, heading into our 4th season.
Yeah, right, okay. How old were you when you got drafted?
I was 19. Technically at the time I was considered an overage draft because it was my 3rd draft entry.
Ugh, so old.
I know, I was a mature age player. I was a massive risk to take at 19 years old. But yeah, so drafted when I was 19, played all my footy at West Coast going into my 4th season this year.
So what were you doing before you got drafted? So you're still playing footy, playing for Peel.
Yep.
How, like, what was your sort of athleticism and all that through school? Because it always amazes me, you're so young to be doing an elite sport. So like, what are you doing before you're technically considered an elite athlete? I
was probably one of those kids that just did a bit of everything I could get my hands on. I was big into like my basketball. I still played, it's called NBL1 now, but it was called SBL at the time, until the year before I got drafted. Played a bit of netball, athletics, tennis, cross country, anything that would get me a day off school pretty much. Yeah. So I did all that going through school, and then I only started playing footy when I was about 15.
Right.
And then from there, was still playing a bit of netball, a bit of basketball, but tapered those off until I gave footy like a proper crack. And then got into it my first year out of school.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so busy. I always like to do anything I could do. I just like doing these ones so I can look at my shoulders in the mirror, really.
What made you want to give footy a go? Because it's obviously gotten very popular now, but it wasn't like a hugely, massively popular female sport to begin with, was it?
Nah. So I actually didn't even know really at the time that girls were playing footy, but one of my mates was playing for a local team, and she asked me to come fill in one afternoon. She was like, you don't even need to play, just come stand on the field so we have enough numbers. Yeah. And I played one game from there and I was like, oh, this is a bit of fun. Enrolled the next year to play, and then from there went through Peel, a couple state academies, and eventually ended up at West Coast. So pretty fast tracked, but yeah, just once I started playing it, I was like, this is a bit of me. And I really enjoyed the physicality and the big teams. And went from there. Yeah,
okay. You know, you play like a bunch of different sports. Most of those are not physical sports, especially tackling wise.
Yeah.
So how did you go like for the first time, and you know, lay a few tackles?
Yeah, probably not for a while. I think that's what made me keep coming back. Like the physicality and the aggression and the intensity of it was just really suited to the type of athlete I was. Once I had a taste for it, I was right into it. But the tackling and some of those big crash packs, I think sometimes they rattle you a little bit at the start. Your body eventually gets used to them. Maybe not mine so much. I think I still feel like I've been hit by a bus after every training.
I was just saying to someone just the other day, like when I was younger, when I watched footy, I loved the hits. Like I was like, if I can get him, smash him, that kind of thing. And now I watch it, and every time someone gets hit, I'm like, like I don't like that anymore. Yeah. Because, especially if you're close to the action, you just hear like the bodies just hitting each other, and it's so full on, Yeah.
A lot of our training is structured around conditioning for contact. So we do a lot of when we start pre-season, a lot of it's non-contact, like a lot of your skill stuff, and then we work into, we call them cats. So cat 1 is like just handballing skills, kicking, no contact, and work our way up to cat 5, which is full match sim. So you don't just start pre-season and go straight into whack, knee in the back type stuff, but we work our way into it, and over time your body gets used to more and more physical contact. But I think there's some types that you just can't prepare yourself for, that are just incidental.
I'm assuming through school and stuff, you're not hitting the gym for strength and conditioning or weights or anything like that, are you? Or are you?
Well, I kind of was, yeah. So in my last year of school, when I was in year 12, I was doing ATAR, but I was also still playing a bit of netball. I was playing state footy at the time and also a bit of state basketball. So
oh my God.
My days looked a bit like 5 a.m. wake up.
Your parents must have absolutely hated you.
Oh, I was
so
the
much
most
driving
nightmare,
around.
most expensive, annoying kid. But yeah, I'd train like in the mornings, spend all day at school, like my lunch breaks and study breaks, trying to just get all my homework done, because then I would catch the train up to the city for state footy training, do a bit of study on the train, come home, bed, wake up, like repeat every day. God. I was just on a heater in school. Now
Crazy.
I do 2 things a day and I'm like, I'm exhausted, I need a nap. But I think I just loved being on the go, and I wanted to do everything, and I wanted to really flesh out, you know, what stuff I liked and what I wanted to do after school, and playing sport was always going to be part of that. I would cook myself into the ground, but just whatever I could get my hands on, I was after.
Yeah, right. So that transition for you to someone going, here's a proper program, this is what you need to follow, this is what you need to eat, wasn't actually a huge deal for you because you're sort of doing it yourself.
Yeah, I've always been someone, I just love the grind. Like I was always getting after gym and you know, extra training, extra running. The transition into AFL environment was harder in the sense that it's more demanding and there's no room for, I don't feel like doing this today. Like you just got to get shit done sometimes. That was harder, like the intensity of it, but the transition into like that athlete lifestyle, I feel like I'd been living since I was probably 8 years old. It was always just how I run, pretty much how I operated.
When I look at AFL, I just go like the running is just next level.
Yeah.
You know, how many Ks a game are you doing?
I'd love to have a look at my GPS data from last year, but anywhere from like 7 to 11. It just depends on like time on ground, conditions. Like if it's a wet game, more stoppages, it's usually a bit less. But for me, like my role, most of it is like how many Ks I can cover at a high speed too. So our training sessions are varied from anywhere from like a really light session can be like 6 or 7, and a big one can be like 12, 13. It just depends on what we're getting after. And we did a bit of match sim on Wednesday. I think we covered about 12 Ks on Wednesday.
Like that.
So about 12 Ks. And we really look at like the distance isn't the most important factor for us. It's we look at different things like high speed meters, which is when you're over a certain speed for a prolonged period of time. So as a winger for my role, trying to get as many high speed meters is something like we really get after in my data. Where some girls is like top speed. Inside mids is like axle load, so how much they're like changing direction, hitting the ground, how well they're moving. So we look at lots of different things with our GPS data, but in terms of diet, what really surprised me, I thought coming into AFL would be like, this is your meals, this is how much you have to eat, can't eat this, have to eat that. But it's very like intuitive eating, like how much you feel you need. But sometimes, especially on big training days, it's hard to eat straight after training and stuff, but sometimes you just have to eat, not for pleasure, just for
just to get it in. You sort of just run your own sort of meal plan.
I think like for me it's not about not eating certain foods or eating these certain things every day. It's just like eating what I feel like I need to sustain energy and get me through training is pretty much the most important thing for us. Like they obviously provide meals on our training days and stuff, but it's very just like what you feel your body needs plus any extras. Like lots of us take like creatine, lots of protein like shakes and stuff after we gym, which is something I didn't previously do, but sometimes you just have to get those little extras, that because we're burning so much energy and calories like in a full training day that you just got to sometimes stuff food down when you don't feel like eating it, but it comes with the territory, I guess.
So did you put on weight in between sort of high school and then playing for Peel and then Peel and AFL?
Yeah, I did, especially my first year in the AFL system. I think I found really quickly that like I had to eat more than I was comfortable eating. Like, especially for me, it's the worst problem to have. Like, but I feel my body weight fluctuates quite like easily and quickly with training. So in pre-season, like that Jan to Feb, March time, I usually put on a bit of weight because I'm more focusing on like gym and heavier lifting. And then as soon as we start getting into this period of pre-season where you're just like flat stick training all the time, everyone's body naturally drops back to like a weight it can maintain.
Yeah,
and you see it in all the girls, like everyone starts to get leaner and look a bit skinnier as we go on. But it's just about trying to find a weight that you can maintain and still like gain muscle or still maintain training as well.
Yeah, okay. Just a quick break from the workout to let you know that this episode of Working With is brought to you by my gym partner, Revo Fitness. Revo gyms have got literally every single piece of equipment that you need for a great workout. Great for chest. All the gear for your back. Massage chairs for recovery. Plenty of squat racks for leg day. Just turns out that I hate leg day, so I'm not going to demonstrate that for you right now. You got great lighting for gym selfies. I look jacked in this mirror. Pilates studio, arms. And just so you know, this is a special, like, very heavy bar that doesn't need any weights, all right? And you get all of it for only $9.69 a week. And do you know what you get for $9.69 a week these days? Absolutely nothing. They're open 24/7. There's always one nearby, so no excuses. All right. Let's get back to the workout. What sort of injuries have you had so far? I've actually been pretty lucky, touch wood. I hate saying that because I feel like I jinx myself. Yeah.
I did a pretty gnarly meniscus, like femur injury, a year or two before I was drafted. Just like a big contact to the inside of the knee type thing.
Yeah.
And I had a broken finger couple years before that. It was one of those ones where you're like, oh, you know, your fingers, you're like, are they broken, are they jarred? But fingernail kept falling off, so went and saw a doctor and I just completely shattered it. So I had 3 pins put through and had those in for about 2 or 3 months, but they're probably like the worst too. Yeah, I've been pretty lucky, like for the type of sport I play. You know, you get things with the territory like fingers, ankles, studs, like all those sorts of stuff. But I've been pretty lucky the last couple of years to still be able to play pretty uninterrupted.
Yeah, that's good.
Footy. Yeah. Did have my first concussion last year.
Oh, did you?
Which was a weird experience because it happened in like the first 5 minutes of the game and I didn't get knocked out, but as the game kind of went on, started to feel a bit strange. Yeah. And then the HIA doctor, who's like an independent AFL doctor, ordered a test for me after the game. They watched it back, they're like, doesn't look good. So I tested after the game about an hour and a half later and failed my scat test then, which was so bizarre because I was like, surely if I was concussed, I would feel it at the time, but I think either adrenaline or like delayed concussion symptoms got through the game. But yeah, after the game I was not well for a couple of days, just like headaches.
So what's a scat test?
So at the start of every year we do, it's like a baseline test.
Right.
So that, you know, you do the test at the start of the year when you're full, healthy, no concussion symptoms. And then if you do it again when there's a suspected concussion, normally they can flag areas if there's any sort of like deficiencies or anything that's affected. So, because obviously a lot of footballers will be like, all good, like got a bit of a headache. But and a lot of the times you hit your head, you're like, do I have a headache because I'm stressing myself out about it, or am I feeling a bit fatigued because I just played a game of footy? But the test is like, it's a series of recall, balance tests, couple like different drawing things. So there's tests that you can't escape.
Yeah, I always kind of think, you know, even like coming to the gym and doing an injury at the gym or whatever, playing sport. It's like, but if you weren't at that sort of level of fitness, you could injure yourself regardless, and then it's way worse because then it's way harder to come back from, or way harder to rehab something if you're unfit or overweight or whatever it is. So
100%. We have like the most amazing rehab team at the club too. We're so spoilt we got physios, doctors, S&C staff. So there's never any problem you'd ever have that there's someone who can't sort it for you. Like anything, it's...
Having like a full-time physio would be like my dream. Just to have them.
I'm very frequent visitor there.
Like,
couple needles here, couple needles here. Yeah.
We were just talking about needling before. I love dry needling.
Yeah, me too.
I literally just got it in my jaw.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you clench a bit when you sleep?
I had like a jet ski accident when I was younger, and I've just always had like neck and jaw issues.
Wow.
So I've always had it in my shoulder and jaw, shoulder and neck and stuff. And then I just mentioned to my physio, I was like, is there anything you can do for my jaw? She's like, yeah, we can needle that. And did it, and it's like loosened it up.
Wow.
So good.
Yeah, some people physio and think like recovery and stuff is funny because some people does nothing for, and other people, like for me, I love like sauna, ice bathing, swimming.
Yep.
Like for me, if I don't do that stuff, I can't get through training well.
Yeah.
But some people don't ice or do any heat recovery and still can get through training fine.
Yeah.
So same with needling, like usually get it once or twice a week, like back, like in the hips, all that sort of stuff. Lots of girls with shin splints, get them in their like shins and calves as well.
Yeah, okay.
And love it, but some people you couldn't pay them to sit down and get poked and prodded for half an hour. So. A couple of those ones.
Nice.
Straight into these ones.
I started doing the 100 burpee challenge.
Oh.
And literally within 50 burpees, I had this like huge back strain. And I was like, oh, I can never do this again. Hence why I've been going to physio, like flat out basically.
I did, lots of us did the push-up challenge last year.
Yeah.
And I remember we got like halfway through on top of all our gym and stuff. We were just like,
yeah, you guys are nuts.
It was painful. I reckon we all, like our arms were just, we'd go to Mark and everyone's like this, like their arms are so sore. Loved the course, but we never did it again.
Yeah.
You know, I was telling you about that neuropsych screening we did?
Yeah.
When we did that last year, I got a follow-up email from the psychologist and she was like, no need to worry, but we flagged like some of the tests you failed were indicative of ADHD.
Oh, right.
And I was like, oh, it's a bit weird. It took me about 6 months I was like, oh, I'll go and have a test. First appointment, bang, straight away, got diagnosed. I'm like, cool, I'm glad at 22. I reckon comfortably a third of our team probably have ADHD or some type of like. But when I told mum and dad, I was like, you know, they said all this stuff and they're like, oh yeah, I guess. I'm like, what do you mean you guess? Like, it's taken you 22 years. I'm like, oh, we just thought you were an active kid. And dad was like, now that I think about it, like, I don't think you ever walked anywhere when you were younger. You just run all the time. Mum always says, she's like, you could talk to a brick wall for hours, I reckon. So my psychiatrist, he was like to me, has no one ever said to you, like, you know, maybe you should go get a test? And I was like, oh, my friends used to take the piss out of me a little bit and say, like, you're so ADHD. And he's like, Jade, where there's smoke, there's fire. And I was like, true, that'll do it.
Oh, that's so funny.
But yeah, I've been on the meds for about 4 or 5 months now. And I'm like, wow, life's actually not that hard. Like,
really?
Yeah.
So it's made that much of a difference, even like not having known. Wow.
The massive thing I noticed straight away was like my ability to just do things without procrastinating. Like, especially with uni, because in school I feel like you're so structured that you just kind of get things done because you have to. Whereas with uni, there's so much autonomy that I struggled to get stuff. Yeah, like if you don't do the work or you don't come to lectures or anything, like no one really cares. So even just small things like time management, I feel like my footy's actually improved. I have both types, like the impulsive as well. So I think I used to, like I had a good footy IQ but would make bad decisions sometimes. And I feel like I do that less now.
It's like slowed it down a bit for you to be able to...
Yeah, it was just like my brain was just like, like I could sit and relax. And I said to my mum, I was like, it's weird, I feel like I can hear better now. She's like, yeah, because you're not talking over everyone the whole time. I'm like, oh.
Wow, that's amazing.
But yeah, the only bad thing with them is obviously because they're a stimulant medication. Every time I'm working out now, it's like heart rate, dry mouth, like, which has been the hardest thing with training. But if that's the worst you get from all the benefits you get from them, I'm like, it's a win to me.
Are you a full-time athlete, but you're all doing uni and stuff?
Technically, yeah. So the first 2 years I played, we were still part-time, so you were only paid for the 6 months we were in season, which makes it really difficult because lots of the girls are either working or pretty much everyone's either working or at uni still. But the trouble is, you know, in that 6 months where you're not being paid, we're still doing a lot of training. So for example, Swanee, who was our previous captain, she was a fiery. So I remember my first year she came to a Wednesday morning training and she looked wrecked and I was like, you all right? And she's like, I've just been doing a 12-hour overnight shift. Like, insane. But if you, at the time, if you had mortgage or, you know, any sort of people relying on you, like responsibilities, you didn't really have a choice but to work and play at the same time, which definitely stunted the growth of the competition.
Yeah, 100%.
But now we're paid full time, so which is great because I was working and at uni my first 2 years, and now I can just you know, focus on uni because I'm doing my postgrad at the moment. So
nice.
Being able to just do footy and do that takes a lot of pressure off your week.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Also makes you the worst employee ever. Like, I can work for 2 hours on this day, and then when we travel next week, I can do 3 hours here and an hour
that's
here.
right.
Yeah. So we're technically full time now, like paid full time athletes, but still have a lot of flexibility in our schedule to either work or go to uni, which is good.
Yeah. Last night I watched the video of you watching the draft.
Oh yeah.
And then of you calling your mum and dad to say that you were playing for
the
first time. Like what, you know, was it always sort of, you were always wanting to go to West Coast to start with? Or it was kind of like, I just want to play?
I just wanted to play. Obviously the trouble was when I put my name in for the draft, it was still, because the pay was less and it was part-time, you could only nominate for your state.
Right.
So I could only nominate to go to West Coast or Freo. So
why don't you go to Freo, mate?
Well, you're a Freo supporter.
Yeah, I like Freo.
Funnily enough, I actually trained on at Freo.
Yeah, okay.
Filled their last train on spot the summer before. So I'd actually trained with them for about 3 months over summer. So I had quite a few like connections there, knew the girls and the coach quite well. My pop's also a massive Freo supporter,
nice.
so I think it broke a piece of him when I got picked up at Eagles. But I spoke to both clubs before the draft, and I had a feeling it was going to be West Coast only because of the way the picks panned out. Like, Eagles had the first one, then Freo, and I think Eagles had another 5 or 6 before Freo had their second.
Right.
So my manager at the time was just like, realistically, if you get picked up, it will likely be in that big chunk of Eagles picks, which it did. I watch that video back sometimes and it makes me feel emotional every time. Like
it's so good.
It's just a feeling you can't even describe, especially when you don't know for sure. You're just kind of sitting there waiting and hoping.
Because then, like I always think as well, especially it's different, the drafts where you're there and they call you up on stage and all that kind of stuff. But we don't really do that in Australia, right? It's sort of just
or only if you're like a top, like a first round pick. So like Ella Roberts and Lauren Wackford were our top 2 picks. So they were actually at the award that night, the presentation. But if you're not in that kind of first round pick, you just sit at home and wait and hope for the best. And if you know the order goes in any other way, like a girl might slip through and the team grabbed, like West Coast could have grabbed her instead, and if I was their last pick, you just get bumped out. So you might have all the confidence in the world, and then things can change like that. So
and then what happens after? So you're sort of sitting around that night or the next day, like waiting for a call to be like, okay, well you start tomorrow.
Pretty much, well, I think it was probably 5 minutes after.
Right.
I checked my phone. I had like 100 texts and calls like straight away. But they'd actually, it was funny because if I'd checked my phone, West Coast actually started following me like a couple minutes before my pick. But I wasn't looking, so because obviously they tag you and whatever and they post it. But the coach rang me, 5 minutes after and said, we'll see you tomorrow or the next day, whatever it was. And then you just literally straight in, like get there, get your gear on, get going.
That must be a pretty sick feeling. Be like, here's your jersey and like your number and stuff like that.
What number do you want? I was just like, this is so. It really doesn't. I don't think it really settles in for a long time. You kind of have your welcome to the AFL moment, but it's a strange feeling. It just feels like you want this to happen for so long, and then it's there, and you're like, oh my gosh, what now? Type thing. And then the next goal is obviously making your debut. Which mine came round 4. Of my first year.
That's pretty good. Pretty crazy.
When you're leading into like this time of year, especially now, we're a couple of weeks out from round 1, it's just always on your mind. Like you try not to think about the outcome. You're trying to focus on the process, but the goal is to play, and you want to play, and you want to play good footy. So the debut game was unreal. My parents were stoked because it was in Sydney, so they got a trip over there. And
sick.
A couple of my friends came and stuff. But it was really, really cool. I think that's the really cool thing about the AFLW space is like we have the platform to show a bit more like the individuality and personality of the players. I think the boys are in a stage where like they're quite professional and established and that sort of thing, whereas we're like the thing that draws people to AFLW a lot is the connection to players. A lot of at the start it was just a lot of family or friends or if you knew a player, whereas now it's kind of moving into that space where we have people who are just genuine fans. So I think that was when I came into AFLW space, like the media around it and stuff was very about like your personality and individuality and creating like
Yeah.
a kind of environment that people were drawn to the players, not just the game, which was really cool.
It's funny you say that, because I've always been like that. I've always followed sport because of the athlete.
Yeah.
So the whole team thing is good, but it's always a player that draws me in. So like, you know, if I watch tennis, I love tennis because I love Rafa Nadal. You know? And then now he's gone, I'm like, oh, like who else am I going to follow? So you just got to try and find someone. But yeah, to me, it's always about the athlete, not just about the team, for sure. It's
funny you say that, because that's how I think about sport a lot too. But obviously the boys' space, lots of the fans are just genuine West Coast fans.
Yep.
And like I said, with us, the first year or two I played, it was majority of the crowd was either family or friends or people who closely knew the people that were playing. Whereas now it's very like, we have lots of young fans or parents who bring their kids to games, or a lot of the fan base from the men's side has like come to our games now, and so it's expanding to become a bit more like the men's. But I think there is a lot more of that personal connection to the players and the game in the women's space, which is really unique to women's sport, which is really nice, I think.
And given this is your 4th season now, and even like you said, you started as a part-time employee, like it's obviously growing very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. From when I first came into now, the growth, not just like, obviously the thing that people have talked about is the money.
Right.
Which has, from when I started to now, has made like a huge difference. Like I said, when I started, it wasn't a livable wage. You have to have a job. I had to have a job with uni. But now it's enough that I can support myself and my cat, and that's that's about it. But I can go to uni and make a living off that. But in terms of viewership and the ovals we're playing more games, the resources in our program, like everything every year, the rate it's expanding at is like huge. It's nothing like a sport's really ever seen. I think like the best example even is the first year I played local footy. I think we had 10 or 12 players, and it was just one age group. Like it wasn't year 7s, year 8s, year 9s. It was, I think I was year 8 or year 9, and
just
we
like
played
just
open, because there wasn't enough to even make. I think there was 5 teams for the whole like Perth Peel region.
Yeah, right.
Whereas now I think the club I started at, Mandurah Mustangs, I think they have 2 girls teams per grade, like a full squad, which is insane to me that there's that many young girls playing footy now compared to when I started. It wasn't even. It was really niche, like it wasn't even really a thing. Last weekend I did a Oz Kick Gala day, and there was like 450 young Oz Kick girls for this big round robin tournament, and I've just never seen that many and young girls playing footy. It was
that's epic.
Bit of a, well, look how much this has grown in the last really 5-6 years. Like huge. But I'm really, like I said, I'm really, the best part about it all is now the opportunity that I can just like lock into my uni for the next couple years. And get that done while I'm playing footy too. Just to set myself up for after as well.
Well, your side of the game hasn't been around long enough to sort of see how long you can play, and then like what happens after, or you know, the longevity of a career in AFLW, right? So, you know, you could be playing, what are you now, 22? You could be playing for the next 8 years easily.
Possibly.
Right?
See how my body holds up. But yeah, exactly, that's it too. Like, I think Alison Drennan is the oldest player in our team, and she's 34. And still moves around like she's 20 years old. So
nice.
It gives you a lot of hope, but obviously, like I said, it's a really unpredictable environment too. Like,
that's
you
true.
could have an injury or concussions.
You can't really plan too much, can you?
And like the nature of it moves pretty quickly. You obviously have to draft new players every year. You could be in one year and out the next, so you just kind of have to take it as it comes, but have a backup plan is always.
And what are you doing at uni?
Last year I finished my bachelor's. I did a double major of business law and psychology.
Jeez.
And then I started my doctorate of law this year.
Wow.
So I got another 4 years of that to go.
Hectic.
Because I can't do it full time, so I'm just plodding along as I go.
Okay.
But the doctorate's definitely been a huge amount of workload I wasn't ready for, I think. Don't even know if I'll practice law when I finish. We'll see.
Just see what happens. Have you used one of these before? Those?
This roller thing?
Yeah.
No? What is it?
I've never used it before, but
that looks like it feels so good on my
yeah,
back.
I just got a demo, so I'm like, I really want to give this a go. I have no idea if this is what you're supposed to do. I just got a demo, but this feels bloody good.
I think it's a bit of choose your own adventure type thing. I'm going to send this to West Coast and say we need one of these.
Yeah, you definitely need one of these.
Oh, good grief. Oh, that's nice. Taking this home with me. Yeah, I feel like we're in really good stead at the moment. We've got a couple practices coming up in the next couple of weeks, so
Sick.
that will be a good test of time. But
and do you know how much travel you've got this year?
yeah, we travel about every second week. So
Yeah, okay.
Which is one of the hardest things. Like obviously being a WA team,
Yes.
we're the furthest away from everyone, and the Melbourne teams, they're lucky. Like their away games are an hour down the road.
Yeah.
So the travel is definitely one of the things that makes it hard for us. Obviously, even in terms of just like it's harder on your body, but affects like our training schedules too, because sometimes we land at midnight after a game and got to try and come in and do some stuff the next day. But the Melbourne teams can go home, have an ice
sleep
bath,
in their own bed, and
sleep in their own bed, get a full meal, wake up and get a full day of training.
Yeah.
But I don't mind the travel. I like it.
Yeah.
Like feels like a bit of a holiday, like in
yeah.
some ways, traveling with all your best mates. But
Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
business trips, obviously.
Yeah.
That thing's so good.
Yeah, I know. I want one now too. Well, Jade, thank you so much for doing this. This has been great.
Yeah.
And best of luck for the season.
Thank you.
Hope you smash it. We'll be there.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.